Welcome back to a new episode of Scrolls of Darmot Goes On Video. I'm gonna present you today some new vinyls and a couple of tapes which I received in the last period. So these are the recent additions to my collection. So let's start with Arfsynd, this Swedish black metal band. If you know Orchivus, or maybe if you know Grift, you know that Perditor has also this project called Arfsynd. They have released two full lengths, Arfsynd and Hesychia, if I'm reading the name right. This is the vinyl, the Hesychia album, which was released a week ago. The album is quite old. It was first launched in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, so 4 years ago. It came out on CD, on Demon Worship Production, and normally it should have been released on vinyl at the same time, but unfortunately, due to some conflicts, the vinyl release got delayed, and it was released a week ago, as I already said. So this is how the vinyl looks like. The cover differs slightly from the CD. As you can see, this is the CD and this is the vinyl. So the cover differs a little bit. Actually, this is the back of the CD. And the inlay is quite simple. You have here the thank list, and you have here the lyrics. What's interesting about this album is that the vinyl edition is limited to 300 pieces, and it comes in black, gold, and red, if I'm not mistaken. Each color limited to 100 pieces. This copy is gold, so it looks like this. I'm not going to take it out, but you already realized how it looks like. If you don't know Arfsynd, I really recommend this band because it's a very interesting one. It's some sort of black metal, but intellectual black metal, I must add. The most interesting fact about this Hesychia album is that Perditor, the main man of Arfsynd, prior to recording the album, has spent 6 weeks in some monasteries in Romania, where he lived with the priests, and basically he witnessed their everyday way of life, their rituals, their habits, their ancestral habits, because basically in a remote monastery, those guys do not live in the present, they live in the past. And speaking about living in a monastery and the life around the monastery, Orthodox monastery, I really recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't watched it, a Romanian film which is called Over the Hills. It's quite creepy. It depicts the life of these monks, and things go a little bit wild. It's a very interesting movie based on real facts which happened like 10 or 12 years ago, and these events really shocked the mass media and the Romanian people. Okay, this is the CD. As you can see, it's a little bit different. The CD also has a booklet, quite interesting one. You have more pictures and more lyrics. So yeah, this is the album. Listen to it, and I'm pretty sure that you will like it. I'm happy and lucky enough to have this CD signed by Perditor. So really thankful for this, a precious item to my collection. The next vinyl which I have for you is Son of the Sleepless. If the last time I talked about their one and only album until now, to the elements. Now I'm talking about compilation, which is called Shadows of the Past. This vinyl, this LP, has been released this year, and basically it compiles all the recordings that Son of the Sleepless had prior to the elements. So we have here the mini CD, which came out in 1999 or something around that year. Poems to the Wretches Heart, the split with Nachtmar, and 7-inch EP whose name I cannot pronounce because it's in German. The funny thing about this release is that it compiles two covers, one of Dunkelheit, Burzum's already classic Dunkelheit, which is very similar to the original, and I like it a lot. And the other is Tausend Kalte Winter, which is a trip-hop cover of a Dark Throne song, again whose name I cannot pronounce because I don't speak Norwegian at all. Yeah, this is I bought this vinyl because I have the previous releases, except the 7-inch, which I couldn't find at that time. But I wanted to have them on vinyl as well. All the tracks from the split with Nachtmar have been remastered for this release. This is the inlay. As you can see, it's extremely simple, and this picture depicts Schwadorf. This picture is from the Poems of the Wretches, Poems of the Wretches Heart. Okay, I can see here the title of Darkron, En As I Dipes Kogan, or whatever. This is a very interesting vinyl. I'm happy I bought this collection because Son of the Sleepless is one of my favorite bands. As I already told you, they play some sort of old school black metal with a very romantic touch, but I really recommend this band. I'm a huge fan of the next band, which comes from Sweden. I have almost every of its releases on vinyl and on CD. Last year they have released an album which is called Great Death, and the band is of course Kill. This little jewel has been released on vinyl this year by Amor Fati. Last year they have released only the CD version, and as you can see, this superb painting made by David Herrerias is amazing. And to accompany this magnificent picture, Amor Fati also included a huge poster of this. Look at it. It's really amazing. It's a shame to put it on your wall. Keep it folded and keep it in the vinyl, because otherwise you might damage it. This is really beautiful. Or maybe you can frame it and put it on the wall, but not otherwise. What can I say about Kill? They are a black death metal band, more black than death, but they are followers of the true spirit of the 90s. They have some Bathory influences, but not that obvious. At least they had these Bathory influences on their first albums, but during the years they somehow evolved, and they got to the Great Death, where they kill absolutely everything. This is one of my favorite albums for 2016, and as always, I really recommend it if you do not know it. This is how it looks like. This is the gatefold LP. This is how it looks like on the inside, and this is the back of the vinyl. So this is a little jewel. It looks amazing. Buy it and you won't be sorry. Next band is a little bit different than the ones which I presented before. It's an atmospheric band. It hails from Germany and it's called Mosaic. They have released in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2015, an album which is called Old Man's Wyntar, and this is the cover. This is basically a painting which has been adapted to fit the cover, and this is the back of the vinyl. This LP has also been released by Amor Fati from Germany. What can I say about Mosaic? It's an interesting band. They play a folk-influenced black metal with some aggressive parts, and most of the material is atmospheric. It depicts winter, and but not in the cheesy way. Basically, it's a story about winter and some characters that have connections to winter. It's based on folklore, German folklore, so it's very interesting. Unfortunately, I don't speak German and I don't read German, so I do not know exactly what some of the lyrics which are written in German mean. But I can make out an idea from the English written ones. It's a beautiful album. You have to be in the mood to listen to it. Especially if it's hot outside, I don't really recommend it. But prepare yourselves for autumn and press play. You can find it on YouTube as well. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. It's a very interesting and beautiful album. Next, speaking of Mosaic, is another Mosaic material. It's a 7-inch, which has been released by Amor Fati. A 7-inch with the Mosaic and Anti, two German bands. Maybe you know Anti. They used to be active in the years 2000. They were playing some sort of suicidal black metal, and afterwards I never heard of them until now, when they released this 7-inch together with Mosaic. This one was released in 2013, and it has only two songs, as you can see on the back. It's a very interesting manifesto, because Mosaic was at their beginnings, and at first they played in a rawer way, and then they slowed it down a little bit, as I said before, combining these elements. This Stellar Landscape track is a little bit harsher and aggressiver than most of the songs from Old Man's Winter, but nevertheless it's very interesting. This is how the 7-inch looks like. It's a gatefold 7-inch. As always, Amor Fati has done a very nice job. So this is another piece of good black metal. Maybe you are wondering what I play behind me. Well, it's a Hungarian band which is called Formorket, and in August they released their second and last album, which is a self-titled one, Formorket. Formorket means darkness in Danish Norwegian. This is a very special band to me, because it has one of actually two of the members from Swedish, another very good band. And as I said, they released this self-titled album before disbanding, and to celebrate the death of this band, which was active for more than 14 years, they performed a show at the 9th edition of Inner Waking Festival, which took place on the 19th of August in Budapest. And there they presented this album, and they killed their past. Basically, they cut all ties with the past. This is how the CD looks like. It comes in a sort of gatefold digipack. It's a production from Spirit Side Productions. It's a very basic one. I like it a lot. It's simple, and it looks really nice. The paper is quite cool. It's limited, I don't know exactly, to 15 or 100 pieces, I'm not that sure. If you want to listen to this album, you can find it on YouTube, so search for Formorket and you will find this great album. I will make a review for my blog, for my webzine, so I'm not gonna talk a lot about this album right now. I just wanted to show this to you and to make you aware that this exists. To accompany the CD, I also have the Formorket tape. which looks a little bit different in a more detailed way. So this is the tape. It's a professionally printed tape on a glossy paper, and on the inside you have the lyrics for all the songs. So again, they did a very good job, Spirit Side Productions, with this release. This tape was released to only 50 copies. So if you hurry, perhaps you can grab a copy of your own. I have here the first album as well, which was released several years ago. The album is called Into the Frozen Shadows, and it looks like this. Again, a very professional printed tape, and it looks really nice. I love it when the underground spawns this kind of surprises, and some unknown bands at the time managed to release this kind of tapes. Okay, side A is up. I'm not going to put anything because I'm also ending my video, but without showing you the latest edition. It arrived this Monday. This is one of the best demos I ever heard. The band is called Silvam, as you can see. I have here the t-shirt and the 7-inch. I bought this bundle. They come from Sweden. They comprise three members, and this is their debut 7-inch released on demo, because prior to this one they have released a tape version, which is currently sold out, and I do not think that you can find that anywhere else. This magnificent little piece of black metal art has been released by Shadow Records, as you can see here. They are back with a vengeance. Now they are releasing some very new, or maybe old, interesting bands like Overmod, Third Eye Rapists, and other new bands. I really recommend this band. As I told you, this is the best demo which I ever heard. It has three songs. They run up to 13 minutes. Crooked Horned Prophet, Incarnation Reverse, and The Skull Full of Stars. But what you can hear on this demo will blow your mind. Forget traditional black metal which is played nowadays with a lot of I don't know, mambo jumbo. This is straight in your face black metal. The production is good, even if the sound is very raw, but not raw in that Darkthrone cave way like you were maybe used to in the 90s. It has a dump, I don't know, a wet dump murky sound. It is amazing. You can either buy this one, and I really recommend to buy this 7-inch directly from Shadow Records, or you can make an idea by listening to the album on the band's Bandcamp, or you can find it on YouTube. This is a really big, huge surprise for me. I really enjoy every song on this demo, debut demo, and I'm really waiting for the full length. From what I understood, the guys are already working on the songs. I cannot compare this, and I do not want to compare this band to another one. This is Silvam. They have their own style, even if they are not original, because you cannot be original nowadays. You cannot reinvent the wheel, but you can add that certain something of your own, and these guys just did that with this 7-inch, with this demo. So again, check them out, and maybe you'll leave a comment and tell me how you find this their music. That's it for today. I hope you had a good time. I really had a good time. If you want to comment, drop me a line, and I will see you next time. Cheers!